She doesn't know. She's like, who are you?
What are you?
Hey, what are you? What are you?
So I actually hit the start stream.
I
So
feel like
event
Matthew needs a
stream.
job
So
too.
now on YouTube
This
it is
Matthew?
This
streaming.
He's like
And
one
it
of the most
should
active
turn
I
on.
know.
non.
For the
We're gonna have to
moment.
assign you a position of some sort. I don't know what
Like,
yet.
give this kid some credit for the work he's doing.
You've been holding it down, man.
Yeah.
I'm so with it. We got a mirror. Okay, hey everybody. This is new for us. So we're live streaming the meeting, and welcome to the Phi Beta Lambda welcome meeting for spring. I'm going to say a couple of things. I'm the advisor of Phi Beta Lambda, and we're glad to have you. So I wanted to start out by mentioning that this is the 2018-2019 theme of the year, Create, Lead, Inspire. For the people who are in the room, you might want to pay attention because there's a little trivia at the end. Okay, so we are, not a lot of people know this, but we are the Tau Beta chapter. People don't know that we actually have a chapter name. So we're the Tau Beta chapter Wave Tech, right? That was new to some people last time. So I want to start out by just getting to know a couple of you, and hopefully I'll figure out who is welcome into the stream later on, and we can get to know you too. So I want to know names and these things right here. What program are you in? What are your areas of interest and things like that? And we've got a couple of new faces, so that's great. And then what made you interested in actually coming? So I'll start with you.
My name is Michael Glendon. I'm the chapter vice president. My program of interest and major is business administration, and I became interested in Phi Beta Lambda because I just really wanted a great way to become more active on campus.
I'm Cameron Huser. I'm the chapter, I guess, social media person, whatever you want to call it. I'm an accounting major. I'm going to be testing in accounting when we go to States. And I'm interested in PBL because I found out in Facts and Snacks about this and got really involved and interested.
So I'm Matthew Dominguez. As of right now, I'm in my associates in arts. I'm planning to get into business administration, hopefully at a four-year college. I'm not all too sure I want to get into in business administration yet, but hopefully I'll figure that out as I go. And the reason why I wanted to join PBL is because in high school I was in FBLA. So I thought, it'd be a good chance to join in the college chapter.
And then I'm Matthew Courtney. I'm the president of the Lake Tech chapter of PBL. I'm an Associates of Arts transfer student as well, and my area of interest is sales, and I got into PBL because I had Professor Rhodes first semester, freshman year, and I don't know, things just happened and I wound up here.
Worked out perfectly.
My name's Logan, and I want to do marketing, and I want to transfer to state. And I know that state's really big on like stuff that you do in here. So, and that's another thing. I've never really done anything business-wise. I've always been more of a science person. So when I decided that I wanted to do marketing, this was like a big thing. Plus, he said it in class, and I was like, well, I guess it's worth a try.
Look how excited
Yeah,
she
it is.
is. She's like,
I was so excited. Okay, great. So I'm going to share this PowerPoint with you all afterwards because this is a video that the National PBL made, but I'm not sure if it'll translate so much to you all over there virtually. So we're just going to get going with this. I've got a lot of information crammed into a couple of slides, but I'm just going to give you the highlights, especially for the trivia folks up here. So our mission statement: we inspire, prepare students to become community-minded business leaders, local society, through relevant career preparation and leadership experiences. So we focus mainly on leadership. We do a lot of competition prep and going to competitions, and we'll talk about that in a second with a couple of our officers here. Membership benefits. Not a lot of people know this too, there are discounts. I actually still use the Geico discount that you can get. And by the way, we've got a couple people behind the camera. There are professional division discounts as well. So just putting that out there. Always be selling. That's what I'm saying. So community service. We have a couple things coming up that are community service related, so we do that too. Our March of Dimes is our charity that we are a part of. So we do a couple of March of Dimes things. And then we love awards, we love recognition, we love certificates, anything we can get, we love it all. So we're going to do it all. Our structure, this is the hard and fast history right here. Not a lot of people know that it's been around for so long. The headquarters is in Reston, Virginia. The whole concept was developed in 1937, but the first PBL, the college chapter, is from 1958. So still a long time ago. And anything that's in bold, you know, take note. Just saying. We have 4 divisions. It actually starts middle level, middle school, and then goes to FBLA, which is the high school version, which a couple of you have been in the high school version. And then PBL, the college version, and then PD, which is the professional division. People who are not in school can be in PD. There's sort of a secret other way you can join too. If you are, I went backwards just a little bit, but if you are not in a school that has a PBL chapter, you can be a virtual member if you are still in college, but you don't have a chapter available. Say like NC State does not have a PBL chapter. We try to convert them over time. They have another one. So you could be a virtual member if you went to NC State and still kind of be with us. That would be useful. That's just something for fun. Spring meetings. We, a long time ago, decided to have fewer meetings and like more meaningful, fewer meetings. So we're here now. February 8th is going to be the last day of FBLA-PBL week, which is a full week of activities that we have planned. So watch out for that, everyone. We've got a lot going on. I'll tell you about it in a second. February 8th, we're going to have the meeting. We have an old president, Josh Howard, who said he was going to come and talk about competitions and explain everything and how he did in competition. So I'm super excited about that. And then I'm calling it a spirit soiree because I wanted to have some alliteration. So we're going to do a dress up in your best PBL gear competition, and our colors are America's colors, red, white, and blue. So if you just go all out and you have the most spirit, then you get to win some gift cards. And even PD people can come to that party, so we're going to have a big party. Okay, March 15th, that's when we kind of get into the real heavy business. We're going to have a meeting going through our rewards and everything. That's when we close out membership for spring and awards. And then we're going to have competition prep in this space too. April 4th through April 7th is our SLC conference, which means State Leadership Conference. And then we'll talk about that in a second. April 19th, we're going to be calling for fall officer elections too. So there's a couple of positions. We've got a couple of them here. Reporter, that's social media. VP, president, membership and recruitment, secretary. We still don't have secretary. We need all of those positions. And then June is the National Leadership Conference, and this year we're going to San Antonio, Texas. Whoop, whoop. So, I don't know, get your cowboy hats and cowboy boots. I've already got my boots ready. So next year, we're going to Salt Lake City, Utah for nationals if you're still around, and the year after that, we're going back to Anaheim, California. So, I don't know, stick around for the next 15 years. If you can keep coming with us. I'll tell you the highlights of PBL week because there's events for, I kid you not, every single day of PBL week, but I'll keep reminding you. Monday is just share your story. I've been going around actually videotaping some people like our provost and a couple other clubs people to put their stories about clubs and PBL and how it impacted them on our Instagram. So our PBL and our business administration. Tuesday is a really important one. This is called Each One Reach One. So if each of you and you out there were to reach one member, then we can at least gain double what we have now. So that's great. Each one reach one. So that just means go out there and recruit your butt off. Oh, right now we are 5th in the state for student membership and probably about 3rd in the state for professional division membership. So I want to just like keep recruiting. That's my mission. Wednesday is a dual purpose professional attire day. So your best formal wear, business formal sort of wear. So people will probably notice that you're dressed a little differently. And they might ask you why you're dressed that way. And then you can tell them it's because you're a part of PBL. Some of you have name tags. And some of you I might be able to get name tags. And then Advisor Appreciation Day, I'm just going to go right past that. So Thursday is Career Awareness Day. This is a really big one. I've actually been planning for a couple of months a business career awareness fair for the business department. We've got about 14 different businesses coming to the Student Services Building between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. on February 7th. And people will be able to go from table to table and explore the different businesses and work-based learning and stuff like that. And then Friday is the PBL Spirit Day. So you wear your PBL gear. I've got like a PBL t-shirt and all sorts of name tags and stuff. Or you can wear red, white, and blue, and then we have a contest with Starbucks gift cards. So if that was up for me, I'd probably try to win that. And then the Saturday, the night there, we, the actual faculty, are going to go to the Interfaith Food Shuttle, but that is just an inspirational day of community service. So you all are just inspired that day to do service in some sort of way. If you want to join together and do that, that's fine. Either way. TLA, I just wanted to mention this because this is an award that we use as a way to measure what we're doing throughout the year. And we'll talk about this at the next meeting and check off all the items that we have done. But it gives us a model, do a charity event, do a recruiting event, so it tells us what to do for the whole year. All right, and then CMAP is an individual award, it's a leadership award. I think some people have signed up to do that, but if anybody's interested, then let me know. Gold Star we got in the fall, so we're super proud. I've got a couple of pictures of Matthew getting the Gold Star, but I need to update that.
We got that old
We got
president.
that old president from before. So if anybody wants to help me talk about competitions, then please join me
All right.
and assist me.
Get your award. What are you doing?
I'll come back up for when I get to national. That's what the award comes in. So, hey everybody, like I said earlier, my name is Michael Glenn. I am the vice president of the chapter, also known as the assistant to the president. So, one of the main reasons why people join PBL is for our competitions. Personally, that's why I joined. It's, to me, the most fun thing that we do here at PBL. And so, the first big competition of the year is our SLC State Leadership Conference in April. And so that can kind of be divided up into two parts, our SLCs. For one thing, there's competitions, and then there's the workshops. So to me, if the ability to go out and prove you're the best at your college or just generally in the state at a certain topic in business isn't enough for you, then how about this? To me, Phi Beta Lambda is the biggest gathering at our SLCs or our national competitions of business professionals or resources that you will ever have, all right, in college that is. All right, these people who you're going to meet there and hear from, like guest speakers and such, are, they're people who have been in the business world for decades and they have a lot of experience to share with you. And so coming out of last year's State Leadership Conference, I personally, I was able to learn a lot. And so going on to the competitions, which are to me the most fun thing that Phi Beta Lambda has to offer, we have dozens of different choices. So personally for me last year, I chose macroeconomics and public speaking as my competition choices. And so how those two works is one of them is a presentation versus one of them is a taken test. So macroeconomics was the test. And so I'll take, for example, public speaking. For public speaking, there was about 15 different competitors. And in order to qualify and be able to qualify for National Leadership Conference, which last year was happening in Baltimore, which I'll get to in a little bit, you have to get into the top two. So I got second place last year. I actually ended up losing to the same guy I lost to at States at National. So hopefully I can have my revenge next year, maybe. But yeah, and then for tests such as macroeconomics, you have to get into the top three. So I know that sounds a little bit difficult, but I personally have at least one or two stories that kind of show it's a little bit easier than it sounds. I'm not going to get into that though. So the competitions are very fun, and it's also, for example, for me personally, if I do place well in macroeconomics, for example, that's something I can put on a resume definitely. And that kind of goes into another reason to be more involved in Phi Beta Lambda is because it looks great to anybody on any resume or any application or any scholarship application. So personally, I put mine on my scholarship application as well as my just regular application to Campbell, and I think it was a big reason why I was able to get a pretty high scholarship offer from them. So that's one of the main reasons why people join is because of the fun and also because it's a great way to show that you have experience in the business world in college. Then moving on to NLC happening in June. Last year I was able to qualify, like I said, for the one happening in Baltimore. So it's $300, actually very cheap considering it's all the way in San Antonio, so that's awesome for me personally. But so for that, it's like SLC, just a lot bigger. And in addition to the competitions, which you can still qualify in, and if you could please pass me, actually, thank you. This right here is, I got 9th place in public speaking at nationals last year, and so a lot of other people in the club got a lot higher than me. I think the highest was one of our members got 3rd place in her competition category, and the top 3 in each competition actually get a cash prize as well. So that was pretty good. But anyway, so it's a lot like SLC, where there's the competitions, there's the workshops. It's just a lot bigger, and you can also kind of explore the city you're in wherever it is. So last year we were in Baltimore. Several of us went to an Orioles baseball game, which was a lot of fun. Others went to the aquarium, and then a few of us just walked around the city a little bit. So it was actually very fun. And then, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so that kind of shows, and I'll pass it off to our president, Matthew, in a second, but that kind of just see all here on the board, all the different reasons why, and I'll let Matthew elaborate on that.
So last year, I also went to SLCs. I did sales and management and decision making. I got 1st in the state in sales and went to nationals, and then I got 3rd in management, so I didn't quite make it. They're both speaking events that I did. Michael didn't mention, he actually didn't do microeconomics. He did information management, which he got 3rd and qualified for nationals. There's a whole story behind that. So the reason that I personally really enjoyed the competitions is because I had never done sales before that competition, actually. And it really taught me that sales was, I knew I wanted to do something in business because I'm a business-minded kind of person, and I've always been good at that kind of thing. But I never knew I wanted to do sales specifically until I took this competition, did all the research, made my sales pitch, and then presented it to the judges, and then won. And then I realized how much fun sales and talking to people and convincing people to buy products that you're selling was to me. And that's why now I've basically decided I'm going to do sales professionally. I'm also, this year, I'm doing business law and, no, it's not management again, it's another decision-making thing where you try to represent a company and be a consultant and everything. And so, you know, maybe this year I'll find out I enjoyed those 2 things even more than I enjoyed sales, and I'll move my idea for what I want to do career later even further. But that's the point of these competitions, is that they're an opportunity for you, before you commit and try to apply for a job, to try out the job and figure out if that is what you want to build your career on. Sure.
A question to any of you. How does these competitions help you actually in class with your current coursework, or does it help out at all?
I know for me, I'm an accounting major, so everything I do kind of goes towards accounting. Right now, with Wake Tech, I am an Associate of Arts degree major, and then when I go wherever I go, I will convert to business and accounting. So I'm also the accounting president of the club here. So when I found out about this club, I actually found out from Matthew and Ms. Rhodes. They came up and talked to me because they needed somebody for accounting. But it actually helps, like, just keep everything fresh in my mind with accounting, because there's so many things to remember, not just from with math, but like category wise. So it really helps just kind of keep what you want to do. Like, for instance, for sales, he found out he loves sales. It kind of just helps you like make sure like everything still is tight and knit, if that makes sense.
And I'm doing business law this time because last semester I actually took a business law class. Okay. And if I was taking those at the same time, I could see, and I'm seeing it now as well, the practical side of all the stuff that we were learning in class last semester.
And if I would also like to interject something, it also can help out a lot with your confidence, like if you're in class, like you just don't have to be solely for business. It doesn't only just help business. And I'll be able to speak up in class if you need to talk to other people. It also helps with if you're just doing practical things, like if you're doing a job, you can go out and talk to people a lot easier than maybe if you didn't have that experience once before.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
It helps with the jitters,
Yeah.
like the nervousness, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like so much like.
Liked.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. That's nice. Thank you.
Okay. You want to tackle that? I think we might have already done it, but.
We can talk about relationships. So you actually do meet a lot of really cool people. Like we all know the people who, well, not just in the club, but like at SLCs, we all know the people who either we beat or we lost to, because eventually it gets to the point where you're sitting up on stage, there's just two of you, and so you kind of have that moment, and you get to become friends like that. And also you meet, like, we have a member named Rivers whose entire friends are from SLCs and stuff, and he knows people from all over the place. So you get to meet other schools as well.
Like cryptic photos.
Yeah, I'm trying to interpret what she wants me to say next.
That's competition, and that's, it changed your life. Do you wanna
Okay,
change
yeah,
yours
so
or
this is
something?
Yeah,
kind of
so
what we're
kinda-
talking about with,
It's like a code.
no.
Yeah.
Originally, I was going to be a finance major. I'm still going to be a finance major because sales doesn't really have a major. But I don't know. I always had issue with doing finance because numbers, I'm good at numbers, but they bore me. Talking to people is what I really like doing. Yeah.
So you said sales doesn't have a major, but have you ever thought about marketing?
That's what I was
Because
just
I
gonna
know
say.
in some colleges, sales is like a key component to that, like UNCW.
Yeah, I know that.
UNCW actually has a really good sales aspect to it because they travel up to New York every year and they get to meet people from like really big corporations. So I don't know if you already have planned out where you're going.
I'm going to
but-
state. And I've already done the
Be in the
course
same program.
and everything like that.
You could be in the same program, possibly.
Oh,
Yeah.
I couldn't.
If I
hear you
took
first.
marketing at state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just know because I like sales too. Like
Yeah.
I like selling stuff to people,
Mhm.
and so that's the main reason why I chose marketing.
Do you want to do the sales competition? Because it's still open.
I'm gonna let you finish.
And so, why join? Honestly, the competitions are the main reason that a lot of us joined. Cameron's the outlier, and I don't know why she joined. But Michael and I joined because we like to be competitive. I was in Science Olympiad in high school.
I'll remember
And when
that.
I came here, this was basically Science Olympiad, but for stuff I was actually studying for.
I'll remember that.
I know you will. That's
All
our
right.
on this slide.
Okay.
Oh.
Guess what time it is? Okay. So, got a handful of candy. You can play along at home. I've always wanted to say that.
This is a Netflix
Okay,
interactive on
so-
Josh's presentation.
All right, here we go. What's the 2018 and 2019 PBL theme?
Lead, create, inspire.
I saw it. Yeah, greatly inspired. Woo! Okay, what do we got? What day are the South Campus meetings this spring semester?
Friday.
Hey, I got it. These are really easy questions. Some of them are. What does, okay. So what does FLDC stand for? This is something that we went to in the fall.
Fall Leadership Development Conference.
Yeah.
I've never been, so.
It means Fall Leadership Development Conference.
yeah.
Someone's VP didn't go.
And that's what
I
he's
didn't
like
go.
the one guy that didn't
I was
go. But we
supposed
took
to.
11 students last fall, which was the most
Then a
we've actually
hurricane
ever
hit.
taken to that trip. So that was pretty cool. What did okay, this is a duel. What did SLC and NLC stand for? We just
I don't want to answer all of them.
Logan coming in
Leadership
hot.
Conference and National Leadership Conference.
Okay. What is the official charity of PBL?
March of Dimes.
March. She said it. March of Dimes. She's getting mega Kit Kats. And then, oof. When was the first PBL chapter charted? I put it in bold and I mentioned it specifically.
1958.
1958. I got extra candy for you. And then, what is CMAP?
Oh man.
This is another one of the little letters. Starts with career. Some people signed up to do this, but I might not.
Oh.
Because
I
she was
signed
one
up
that
for
signed
this.
Career and Membership Achievement Program. That is CMAP. This is the only award that we have that's like the individual type of leadership award. It's something extra. You get little pins, you get pinned up on stage. It's very fancy. How many levels can your regency map?
3.
3.
It's director, executive, and then presidential. Or no?
Director, executive, and president.
Yeah.
Yeah. And which is a TLA, or what is a TLA, and why is it so important? So TLLA, does anybody know what it stands for?
Somebody
So it's with
leadership,
the
like
leadership.
the leadership
Yeah.
legacy award.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
yeah.
well, it starts with the. So the Legacy Leadership Award. It's important because it's what we use for our guidance.
What
for
was the
whole
guy's
year.
name that it used to be named for?
Terry Lawrence
That's right.
Award. So it used to be named for a person who was very influential in PBL, and then they renamed it for the Legacy Leadership. Who can join PBL?
Anyone and everyone.
Anyone. You don't have to have a specific GPA. You definitely don't. Just like Matthew was talking about, this Matthew with the darker hair. And we have multiple. By the way, we have like 5 Matthews. This Matthew was
So
talking
join
about
us.
you don't necessarily have to be
Call them
in
Matthews.
business to be a PBL. You can be in any program,
We have-
so anybody can join.
We had nicknames.
So recruit from any
remember?
program.
Coordinate.
The only thing is you have to take
Dean, that's
one
right.
3-hour class per semester
Right.
to be in PBL, and that's the only rules. So, oh, that's me. If you just
10-year challenge.
if you have any questions, this is my information, mjrhodes@waketech.edu. I believe that's probably showing on your screen as well. President right now, Matthew, VP or assistant to the president, is going to be Michael. Reporter,
I got you.
Karen. Membership recruitment, we've got David Burris, and he's going to help me with a lot of the FBLA-PBL week events, especially the business fair. Yes, we have a question.
Yeah, so one of the online viewers, Jacob Bullifant, I believe, he asks, do I need to change my name to Matthew to join?
Preferable, but no. Does anybody else have any other questions? Either there or here. This is new for us. So, let me know. Also, let me know if you want a leadership position. We're probably just going to make up one for you.
Can I change mine?
And you can change it.
Can I just be secretary?
Yeah. So we changed her to secretary, so we need somebody for social media, so we'll
So
talk
what
about
does
that.
she do?
And
Like, what does she specifically do?
Reporter?
She right now.
I literally
so
just-
we have a
the
PBL
Instagram.
Instagram, and that's really all we're focusing on social media wise right now. And we need somebody who's going to be really up on updating the social media, especially when we go to these trips,
I do.
taking the photos and posting, and we do a couple of things that are on there.
There's not much we can post on.
No, not a lot.
Don't say
So
that.
we'll take pictures and share events, and especially we'll have more
I
speakers
posted on our
here and stuff
story
like
on
that,
this
and we'll
meeting
post it.
though.
But then we can talk
Got
about what
something.
type of other social media we might want to be a part of if somebody's really big on social media and stuff like that too, and marketing. So,
Yeah, I was thinking like
Yeah.
I could do that.
well, you can take her job.
Yeah.
Great, got it. So we've got. Sorry, I can't see the hands if somebody's moving faster on here. But we've got Logan now, who is our reporter. We've got a new secretary, which is fantastic because we need that.
And
And then
plus-
we're going to invent something for
I'm
the other
secretary
half.
for state. That might be a good
All right.
preparation.
Okay, so anybody else questions from online? Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. We appreciate you. I'll see you in class because all my students, I guarantee. So,
What a finale.
Let me know if you need anything, and we will be here for you. We're gonna sign off and do something different. Thanks.
Can we wave too?
Yeah, you would. Bye. Y'all come back now. Okay, great.
Are
we
those
out?
two separate cameras?
Yeah.
Has that been staring at me this whole time?
Yes,
That
it
has been
has.
on you.